Rob Bluey from the Daily Signal starts us off today, along with NewsNation contributor A. Scott Bolden, as we wait on that Trump event to get started in Michigan. You know, it's interesting, guys, to say that the most challenging, because we look at these states, right? The only one we don't see a candidate in today is Pennsylvania, of the three blue wall states. That's probably Trump's best bet. We're always looking at the data, Rob. Whereas Wisconsin, you could see him doing better than he's done in the pre-election polling. That's what's happened the last two elections. Michigan, though, where he is today, that's a tough one for Trump. Can he win there?
I think he can, particularly if you look at some of the recent polling out that shows that Arab Americans are neck and neck between Harris and Trump. So that's an important constituency in that state, as we all know. And Kamala Harris has struggled, particularly because of her back and forth support for Israel. That is a tough issue, I think, for her in that particular state. And I think it's why Trump is paying more attention to that state. And there's also a lot of manufacturing jobs that have been impacted by the U.S. trade policies that Trump has long criticized, dating back to his time running in 2016.
News cycle. What do you make of it right now and where we are, Scott? Because obviously the Cheney news for Harris will be big. We'll talk about it, especially in our next hour of coverage leading up to her event this evening in Wisconsin. For Trump, it's the Jack Smith filing that came out during our broadcast yesterday. So January 6th is back in the news. Forget the legal side of that for a moment. Scott, what about the political impact on this campaign right now that we're talking about January 6th of 2021, again, right before a 2024 election?
Well, it's not baked in because this is new information, new detailed information. And I think those Democrats and moderate Republicans who are concerned about democracy, Republicans like to say it's not a top issue. It's a big issue when it comes to transfer of power and encapsulates, do you want to go back to January 6th or not? And there's a real threat that January 6th could happen again if he doesn't win. I mean, it's the big lie, if you will, the denial. And even with the vice president debate the other night, J.D. Vance couldn't say that Trump had lost that race when every court and most Americans know that he lost that race and it wasn't a corruptible win for Biden. In regard to Michigan, very quickly, I can tell you that under the Biden administration, manufacturing jobs are up. Arab Americans are upset with this administration. The polling shows that Kamala Harris, isn't really being blamed for that. It's still neck and neck. They got a lot of work to do, but there's just too many Democrats. And Arab Americans are going to come home to the Democratic Party, but there's just too many Democrats in Michigan for Trump to win in the end. We still got 3 weeks to go. We'll see. Now